The golden evening sun bathed the old stone house in warm light, but the warmth ended at its doorway. An elderly man stood at the threshold, his shoulders bent with age and exhaustion. His gray hair clung to his scalp like threads of silver, and his face etched with wrinkles told stories of sacrifice, struggle, and silent love. In his trembling hand, he held a small wooden box, worn smooth by time. Behind him, a young man shouted, "Get out of my house!" The words cut deeper than any blade. The old man turned slowly, his tired eyes meeting the furious glare of the young man standing in the doorway. This young man wore expensive clothes, his face sharp with arrogance, his finger pointed like a weapon. "You've taken enough from me," the young man continued. "I don't owe you anything anymore." The old man opened his mouth, as if to speak, but no words came out. He only nodded, lowered his gaze, and turned away. And so, with nothing but a wooden box and a broken heart, he walked away from the house he once built with his own hands. New moon of father's sacrifice. 35 years earlier, the old man named Samuel had found a crying infant abandoned outside a hospital on a stormy night. He was poor even then, a mason who worked long hours for little pay. But when he looked into the baby's eyes, something inside him changed. Samuel adopted the child and named him Daniel. He raised Daniel alone. No wife. No family. Just the two of them. Samuel skipped meals so Daniel could eat. He worked through sickness, pain, and rain so Daniel could go to school. When Daniel asked for books, Samuel sold his jacket. When Daniel needed tuition money, Samuel worked nights. And when Daniel asked, "Why don't we live like others?" Samuel smiled and replied, "Because one day, you will live better than all of them." Briefcase success that changed everything. Daniel was brilliant. He studied hard, earned scholarships, and eventually entered the world of finance. By his early 30s, he had become extremely successful, earning millions through investments and business deals. Money changed Daniel. He moved into a luxury house. He wore designer suits. He stopped calling Samuel father and began calling him old man. Samuel moved into a small room behind Daniel's grand stone house, not because Daniel asked him to, but because Samuel didn't want to be a burden. He cleaned. He cooked. He waited. But gratitude never came. Collision the breaking point. One evening, Daniel arrived home furious. A business deal had failed, and he needed someone to blame. "You embarrassed me today," Daniel shouted. "I did nothing," Samuel replied softly. "You exist," Daniel snapped. "That's enough." Daniel accused Samuel of being a beggar, a liability, a reminder of poverty he wanted erased. "I'm a self-made man," Daniel yelled. "You gave me nothing." Samuel's eyes filled with tears, but he said nothing. That night, Daniel made his decision. "Leave," he ordered. "This house is worth $9.5 million. I won't have a poor old man ruining my image." Samuel quietly went to his room, picked up the small wooden box he had protected for decades, and walked out. Packaged the wooden box. Inside the box were documents Daniel had never seen. Bank records. Legal papers. A letter. Samuel had never been poor by choice. Years ago, Samuel had received a massive inheritance from a distant relative, $9.5 million. Instead of using it for himself, he placed it into a trust fund, in Daniel's name. Every opportunity Daniel had, every school, every connection, every investment was quietly funded by Samuel's sacrifice. Samuel kept nothing for himself. Except the truth. Coffin the shocking revelation. 3 days after throwing Samuel out, Daniel received a call from a lawyer. "Are you Daniel Harris?" "Yes." "You are required to attend the reading of Samuel Harris's will." Daniel laughed. "He has nothing." But when he arrived, his confidence vanished. The lawyer opened the wooden box and read the letter. "My son, I never told you where your Success came from because I wanted you to believe in yourself. Everything you own today came from love, not luck. I forgive you. But you must learn what money can never buy. Then came the final sentence. All assets are frozen until Daniel Harris publicly acknowledges the truth. Daniel's hands shook. The house. The money. The empire. All of it was never truly his. Cloud with rain too late for forgiveness. Daniel searched for Samuel everywhere. But he found him too late. Samuel had passed away quietly in a shelter, the wooden box beside him. Daniel fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face, not because he lost the money, but because he lost the only man who ever loved him unconditionally. Dove final message. Arrogance blinded him. Pride destroyed him. And love came too late. Some legacies aren't written in money but in sacrifice.